Hi, Chef Wesley Turnage here. We're doing our mindful cooking segment this week. We're gonna do the mindful meatballs with spaghetti and grape tomatoes. So we've got some boiling water. I chose angel hair over spaghetti noodles this time around just because it's my personal preference to use angel hair. I have a ladle here and I have my strainer here to get all the water off, but I am going to use this cup that I have the pasta in to reserve a little bit of the pasta water, because you use that pasta water, it helps to build really nice body to the sauce. It has the starch that's come off of the dry pasta as you're boiling it. So we're going to go ahead and get that started. All right, so we're gonna get ready to prep up our meatballs. I've got a saute pan over here warming up on the stove. We're gonna use a little bit of our olive oil here, and we've got some zucchini. So I took 2 large zucchini. The recipe called for 3 medium zucchini, and I just ran them through my spiralizer and then ran a knife through them really quickly just to give them a shredded kind of texture. I ended up brunoise cutting. Brunoise is an 1/8 by 1/8 cube. Cutting the red onions that I'm gonna use for this instead of shredding them on a shredder, a box shredder. You could grate them if you wanted to, or you could use a food processor. And then I've got some minced garlic. All right, so now we're gonna saute our zucchini, onion, and garlic. So we're gonna take half of our olive oil. We've got this heated saute pan here. We're gonna take about half that olive oil, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in these vegetables. So it's on about a medium-high heat. I don't want it just like really super high heat. I don't wanna like really saute or brown caramelize this. I just want to kind of sweat it down, get it soft, start to release some of those flavors and juices from the vegetables. Just gonna let that cook, and then we're gonna set it to the side and let it cool a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna put our meatball mixture together. We've got our ground turkey, lean ground beef, our spices, breadcrumbs, egg whites. We've got our pans here with some tin foil and some pan spray to put them on. I'm gonna go ahead and spray that ahead of time before I get my hands all mixed in. I've got a mixing bowl. You could totally do this in a KitchenAid mixer if you wanted to. I'm gonna do it by hand today, and then I've got my beautiful sauteed veggies that have kind of cooled off a little bit. They're still a little steamy. If you wanted to let them refrigerate for a little while, you totally can. Now we're gonna roll these up. So I'm gonna take the meatballs, and I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna use about 2 ounces of meat really easily. And I'm just gonna kind of form this meatball together, and I'm gonna put it on my sprayed sheet pan. So we've got a really hot saute pan. I use this big brazier or roaster pan here because I want a lot of surface area that's hot. So I've had this heating up. I've got the rest of my olive oil that we had from earlier when we sauteed the vegetables. I'm gonna add that to the pan. You can see that pan smoking hot. And the first thing I'm gonna put in is I've got these really nice ripe grape tomatoes. I cut them in half. I'm gonna put those in. Those are gonna pop. We want them to get a little sear and char on them. All right, so now we've got our pasta put together. We've got our meatballs straight out of the oven. We cooked them to 165 degrees internal temperature. We checked them with a digital thermometer, or for those at home, you want to bake them at 350 for about 15 minutes for those little 1.5 to 2 ounce balls. then I always like to finish my pasta dishes with just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So I'll take the bottle of olive oil, put my thumb over it, and just give it a nice little drizzle, just like so. Nothing crazy. It just gives it a nice, fresh flavor of the olive oil when you're putting that on there. So this is our dish this week. This is the Mindful Meatballs with spaghetti and grape tomatoes, finished with a little bit of Parmesan and some fresh basil.